Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Chantilly Racecourse here on Sunday. It is June the 5th, 2016. Gonna look at the stakes races, races 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Races 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you want the other races, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections. So let's get on to a great card of racing from Chantilly. Starting off at race number 2. It's the Group 2 Prix Du Jockey stakes here. Group 2 stakes here, going for a purse $140,500 for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses dashing the distance of 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs here on the turf course, and I'm going to do an exacta key this race. I'm going to go to the 5 horse, Ride Like the Wind, an Irish bred horse here with Barcelona in the saddle. Going to put this horse into an exacta key. Going to go 5-1-6, 5 with the 1-6 for $1 exacta key. It's going to cost you $2 for number 5, Ride Like the Wind. Last time out, ran in Deauville on the 16th of May, and the Group 3 St. George's Stakes. This horse finished third by 1.5 lengths. The winner and second place finishers are coming back to run in this race also. This horse had a decent third place finish in the field of 6. It was a very wide open race, I think, that day. So I think it was a decent run. At Maison Lafitte, on the 26th of April, this horse ran a listed stakes for $56,000. Horse again finished third by 2.25 lengths. He was in, it was his first start back since November. It was a decent third place finish, but I think he could have finished a little stronger. And then the Group 3 Perth Stakes at Saint Cloud, November the 1st. This horse finished 8th by 8.5 lengths. It was a very tough season last year. He just didn't have a great run. He won once last year. This horse is only a winner of 2 starts, but I think this horse should be peaking today. It's going to have a very good run. The horse needed his last 2 races. Watch out for a huge run from this one. So to recap my bets for race number 2 from Chantilly, it is the Group 2 Prix Du Jockey Stakes. Going to go to the 5 horse, Ride Like the Wind. Going to do an exact key 5 with the 1-6 for $1. It's going to cost you $2. So now let's get on to race number 3 from Chantilly. The third race from Chantilly is the Group 3 Prix de Rolemont Stakes. My French is horrible, so please, excuse that. It's a Group 3 Philly Stakes here, going for a purse of $86,500 for 3-year-olds, traveling 1.5 miles, 2,400 meters on the turf course. 6 horses, and again, I'm going to do an exact key this race. Going to find my way to the 5 horse, the Juliet Rose. Going to put this horse, like I said, to the exact key. Going to go 5 with the 2-3 for $1. It's going to cost you $2. Number 5, the Juliet Rose. Last time out, ran Chantilly over this course, 1.3 miles in listed stakes for $59,000 on May the 10th. Horse won by length that day. An incredible run, I must say. If you watch back the replay, it was a decent run. Start before that was in the Group 3 Penelope at Saint Cloud on the April the 18th, a mile and a quarter. This horse finished second by 1.75 lengths at 7 to run. It was a decent second place finish against a very strong winner that day. He should really be peaking. He ran some very tough races. That Group 3 was very tough. He's running back here today. 5 to 1's a decent price on this one. Watch out for this horse to run a big race here. This horse has only lost once. That was in the Group 3. This horse should really do well. And with that rain they've gotten in France, this horse should really excel also. So to recap my bets for race number 3 from Chantilly, it's the Group 3 Prix de Rolemont Stakes. Going to go to the 5 horse here, the Juliet Rose. Going to do an exact key 5 with the 2-3 for $1. It's going to cost you $2. So now let's get on to race number 4 from Chantilly. The 4th race is the Prix de Saint-Graham Stakes. The Group 2 stakes here for fillies, for 3-year-olds fillies only, going for a purse $140,500, traveling 1,600 meters on the turf course, 1 mile ahead of them. We have 9 horses going to this post, and found my way to the 4 horse. Bit of a price here. Number 4, Rose, 10 to 1. Going to put this horse, like I said, into an exact key 4. I'm going to go 4 with the 5-7-9 for $1 exact key. It's going to cost you $3. And if you play in North America, if you're playing the races from France, the takeout rate I believe is only 12%, so it's some value to play. And the favorites don't win all the time, so it's very good. I like playing the French races if I'm up early. First post time is usually like 6 a.m., so I have to wake up that early. But number 4, Rose. Last time out on April the 30th, last start was at Toulouse, 1 mile in listed stakes for $59,000. This horse finished second by 1.25 lengths that day. The winner that day bestowed is running back into this race also, but this horse was just definitely second best. I think this horse needed a little extra. And then the Group 3 at Maison Lafitte on April the 7th, going 7 furlongs in the Group 3 and Prudence Stakes. This horse finished third by 3 3/4 lengths at 16-1. I have to say, after a long layoff of basically the winter, this horse ran a hell of a race for that third place finish, and then he won his last start of the year at Toulouse on November the 11th on a soft turf course, very wet turf course, 1 mile listed stakes. This horse won by a half length, just an incredible win. He won 2 in a row to finish off the year last year. This horse is a winner of 2. So I think this horse will really run well today. Going to this mile distance, this horse handled it. He's been improving with every start this year. Watch out for this horse to have a big run at the good odds of 10-1 here in the States. So to recap my bets for race number 4, it's the Prix de Sangrahan. We'll go with that with my pronunciation. Gonna go to the 4-horse Rose. Gonna do an exact key here. 4 with the 579 for $1 exact key. It's gonna cost you $3. So now let's get on to race number 5. It's the featured from the card from Chantilly. It's the Group 1 Prix Du Jockey Club Stakes. Group 1 stakes here going for a purse of just over $1.5 million in American currency. For 3-year-olds only, we have a field of 17 horses traveling 2,000 meters on the turf course, 1.25 miles ahead of them, and it's a very wide open affair, I think. I found my way to the outside, to the 11 horse actually, Foundation, a very nice horse here for John Gosden and Frankie Dettori. I'm going to put this horse into an exact key. Going to go 11 with the 5-7, 14, 16. 11 with the 5-7, 14, 16 for $1. It's going to cost you $4 to play this exact key. But number 11 Foundation, Frankie Dettori on this one, coming in from the UK to ride. Last time out, run at York on the 12th of May in the Group 2 Dante Stakes. Horse finished third by 1 3/4 lengths that day. The second place finisher Deauville actually ran yesterday in the Inverness Derby. I believe he didn't finish in the money. Wings of Desire, I believe, also ran. Also, he didn't finish that good either. But this horse, it was a decent third place finish, an all-out finish. I have to say, if the form to get off of that race, as an American player, you like to find a form of a race. Now, the form is the horse's next start that came out of the Dante Stakes haven't been that good. Maybe this horse could switch it off, because that's a little scary if the form's not holding up. Hopefully this horse can really run a hell of a race. Then in Newmarket on April the 14th in the Group 3, Craven Stakes. Horse finished second by 3.5 lengths. A very nice second place finish behind Stormy Antarctic. You need a little extra. You have to remember also, the horse's first start since October the 24th. So, you expect the horse to need a race. I think this horse should be peaking again today. And then Doncaster, the last start of last year as a 2-year-old, October 24th in the Racing Post Trophy. This horse finished third by 4 lengths behind Marcel, who was the winner. This horse, again, just needed a little extra kick that day. And then this horse basically won the horse's first 3 in a row. Won the Juddmonte Royal Stakes at Newmarket, won the listed stakes at Haddock, and broke his maiden at Haddock by 3.5 lengths. This horse, I think, should run a monster race here at 7-1. It's not bad odds here. Your favoritism goes to the 3-horse. It's a very good horse. He had a very impressive win in the Harcourt Stakes, the 3-horse for Al Shabab. But I'm gonna Al Shabab actually. But I'm actually gonna pick away from it. I think to a bit of a price here. The 7-1 horse Foundation. The horses I have in the bob and the 5-horse, who is Robin of Naven. It's French-faced horse, bred in France. He's been running some very good races here in France at Saint-Cloud. He finished. He had one race this year at Saint-Cloud at 1.25 miles in the Group 2 Gaffal Stakes. This horse finished second by 2.5 lengths. I think he should have a monster improvement today coming to this 1.25 miles. As a 2-year-old, he was running very good. He only lost once, basically. One of those losses came in a allowance race at Deauville on the turf, and then he won the Group 3 De Conde Stakes at Chantilly over this course. He should have a massive run also. If I had to give you maybe a second selection, it would be the 5-horse Robin of Naven. I also have the 7 Al Mazzara. at 15-1. Another horse was running very good in group company early in this year. Won the Goucher Stakes over the flat at Chantilly a few weeks ago. Won the Fountain Blue Stakes back in April. Finished third in the Fountain Blue Stakes. Had a disappointing seventh in the Khartoum International Stakes last season at Saint-Cloud to finish off his career, his year. But he had some really nice races. He should be another horse that should be on the improvement, along with the 14 horse, who I also have on my ticket, who is Dicton, here at 9-1. Olivier Pessier. He was running at Deauville in the Group 1. Poulon Stakes. His horse finished third by 5.5 lengths at 10-1. He's been, with every start this year, he's done very well, except in that Group 1. I know this is going to be a strong challenge for this horse, but I think he can maybe run a good race. He just won the Fountain Blue Stakes, the Group 3 Fountain Blue, over this course about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. But, he just won it. I think the Mount Quarter is a little bit toughy, but you never know. You could have toughy, yeah, it's a good word. But you never know. He could have a really good race here. I'm also going to put the 16 horse for the Kumar group, Bravery, with Ryan Mortar come in. This is another weird horse. Finished fourth in the Irish 2000 Guineas, and then won a maiden race. Out of all the horses, this one's just a very weird. I kept going back to the replay on this one. The Guineas run was too weird, I think. It was just a difficult race to get my mind around. But I think he should go to the Mount Quarter. It's just the thing about the class, because he finished a disappointing fourth in the Guineas, and it took him 3 starts to break his maiden against subpar horses, in my eyes. It's just weird. I have him on the ticket because he is out of Galway. It was one of my favorite sires. But I think it's just a very weird horse in my eyes. The distance is the only thing that's keeping me on this horse, because I think he should excel with the long distance. So to recap my bets for race number 5 from Chantilly, it's the Prix Du Jockey Club Stakes from Chantilly in France. Gonna go to the 11 horse, who is Foundation as a top selection. Like I said, a second selection, I would go to Robin of Navan. If the odds are correct, I might actually put a few bucks to win on that horse also. So if you want a straight exacta right now, it's gonna go 11.5, 11.5 exacta, or even an exacta box. $5 can cost you $10. But to play it this way, I'm going to give you an exact key play. I'm going to go 11 with the 5, 7, 14, 16. For $1 exact box, exacta key, it's going to cost you $4. So 11 with the 5, 7, 14, 16. For $1, it's going to cost you $4. So now let's get on to race number 6 from Chantilly. 6th race from Chantilly, the final race I'm going to be looking at on today's program from Chantilly. Remember, if you do want the 8th race, it's going to be on my 7th and 8th race. It will be on my Twitter handle at Horse Racing Kid 5. But the 6th race is the Group 2 Grand Prix de Chantilly Stakes. It's going for a purse $140,500 for 4-year-olds and upwards, traveling 1.5 miles on the turf course, 2,400 meters ahead of them, 8 horses, and it's a very wide open affair here. I've given you an exacta key that has 4 horses on the bottom. I think any of those 4 horses could win in my eyes. Found my way to the 6-horse Symbol, who I have been wagering on in some of his races in France this year. Gonna put this horse into, like I said, an exact key. I'm gonna go 6 with the 1, 3, 4, 7. $4, it's going to cost you $4. But number 6, Symbol, Oslin Murphy coming in from the United Kingdom ride this one. Last time at Saint-Cloud on the 1st of May in the Group 1 Guinéa Stakes for $325,000. Horse finished 6 by 5.5 lengths. Couldn't catch the winner, Darian, who just ran a hell of a race. It was probably one of the best races I've seen in anywhere in any country, because that race by Darian was just incredible, I must say. So Darian's not in the race this time, so I think this horse has a very strong chance. I think anybody who comes out of that race has a strong chance. It just happens that a lot of those horses come back into this race also. But, start before that was at Chantilly. I remember backing this horse that day in April the 10th, and the Harcourt Stakes. This horse finished second by 3.5 lengths behind the winner, Garlanargi. This horse finished second behind him 2 starts in a row. That second place finish, I remember watching because I had a lot of money on this horse that day in exact key. And just, it was a very horrible defeat for the horse him myself. But I think this horse should be improving. I knew he wasn't going to be doing that good in the Guinea Stakes, but in this spot he should really do well. And he finished a decent second place in the Group 3 Express back in March at St. Cloud. Watch out for this one. He finished 10th in his Champion Stakes in the Quipo Champion Stakes at Ascot last season, and a Prince de L'Orange Stakes at Longchamp. This horse finished second by neck, nearly won at 3-1 last year. So watch it. Like I said, watch out for this horse to have a monster run. I think he is after that very tough defeat last time out. So to recap my bets for the Prix du Chantilly Stakes from Chantilly Racecourse, of course. Gonna go to the 6-horse Sunball as a top selection. Gonna do an exacta key 6 with the 1-3-4-7 for $1 exact key. It's gonna cost you $4. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.